What's up? What's up? What's up? I'm not even going to get into it. We're just going to go right into it right now. People.
Oh, we just jumping in hot?
We're just going to jump in hot, man. Forget the intros. Forget everything. Well, except for I got SIKSLAYER here. I'll give that at least.
Yep.
But it seems like everybody's in an uproar right now with the roadmap and the update to the roadmap, so-called roadmap, because you never know, they may change again. And Halo Infinite couch co-op canceled completely, right? Because that's what I'm reading.
Yeah. Well, the way they worded it is they're not working on it anymore. They don't know if and when they'll ever get back to it. But they never said like anything that equates to dead. But of course, everybody's going to take it that way because I mean, they probably not.
Yeah.
But technically, they could.
I mean, it's not great news, and people are upset now. But we had a good talk in our group chat, and I don't want to give too much away from the group chat, but I do want to say, and I still stand by what I was saying in there. I'm going to say what I said in
about it anyway. Yeah,
is that to me, couch co-op is just dead, and it's been dead
it's
for
unfortunate.
Years.
Yeah,
you know, ever since
because we had the online
came on. You know, in the play. What's the point of sending me? Hey, come on over, let's play. And the people that make the argument say, well, what about those days? It's like, and how many days of those do you have when you have to have couch co-op, you know?
Yeah.
You know, how many of those days really come up for you to argue, we need that couch co-op because you never know, in the next 5 years, I might have 2 people come over for couch co-op.
And we have xCloud that can cover that now. So
I say xFiles, xCloud. Yeah, xCloud. So that's the way I see. I mean, I see the benefits and I understand it because, hey, I have 4 split screen back in the day. I had it in my apartment with the projector. I had parties that lasted all night. I would go to bed. I wake up. People are still at my apartment playing. You know, I understand it and I understand the feeling for it. But couch co-op is dead, man. People need to accept it.
It's true. Listen, if it were up to me, it would be at the back of the list of my dev roadmap, right? Like it would still be there, right? But it would be at the back of the list. There are countless other things that are more important like that, including ray tracing, amazingly enough, right? In which they did say they're still working on it, it's still coming out. I don't know why Alexander Battaglia all of a sudden is talking this. He like quotes the thing, right? That says that it's a priority if it's not the #1 priority that they have. So he equates it to it's not on the dev roadmap, and you saw I did with all caps,
like a visual, feature, and they want to get that out because the Series X can handle it.
Right. So why would he think it's not on the roadmap? That was the first words that came out of his mouth. It's a priority. It's like the #1 priority, I believe was the quote. Like, why would you say otherwise? But just to rewind back to what everybody's talking about what we're talking about, and we're definitely going to go in depth tonight. So we're not going to go right. So we're not going to get into too much, but particularly the couch co-op was the main thing that we wanted to discuss. Yeah. And by the way, excuse the echo. If you hear the echo, I'm in a large room here. So, but yeah, like couch co-op, it's unfortunate, but yo, I remember the first time I played Halo, right? The launch day of the Xbox, I played it with my friend Mark Sandrock. He had the system. We played it together. We played the first 3 levels or so together, right?
Yeah.
It was great. It was fun, you know. Halo 2, I beat that myself, but eventually I play with some other folks here and there, you know, couch. But Halo 3, and I still have that recording because it was on my 360. You know, I moved. It was still that first night. You know, when you got that big on deluxe version with the big helmet and all that. You know.
Yeah.
That first night, I beat Halo 3 with my friends. You know, it was the 4 of us. We beat it then. Ever since then, I've never played couch co-op or couch multiplayer. Which, by the way, they haven't said anything about the split screen multiplayer. I guess we should use that word more often. The split screen.
Yeah.
Split screen, right? Because that's what enables
they're getting confused with online stuff.
Right. So we don't know about the multiplayer because they didn't address that at all. And I think people are putting that all together, right? But in terms of the couch, it's unfortunate. Yeah. If it were up to me, it would be on my list. It would be towards the end of the list to one day add back, you know, kind of like how they added Halo ODST to the Master Chief Collection, even though that was never a part. And in fact, the Master Chief isn't even in there, right? Yeah. He's alluded to be in that casket that you see at the very end and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Well, he's alluded to because there's like, because at the very end, you know, spoiler for a multi-year-old game, but you see that, you know, casket that they're pushing into the Pillar of Autumn, and then they have that little container with Cortana in it. You know, Master Chief is asleep, you know, in hypersleep in that thing, so he's there. So there's gonna be a Halo nerd somewhere who's gonna be like, "Oh, he was really no." That was the one game where the Master Chief wasn't playable and therefore wasn't planned to be a part of the Master Chief Collection. Eventually, when they got on their road to redemption, they added it in, and I can only imagine one day, because now it seems like Halo Infinite is on a road to redemption, that one day they'll add it back, but it's way at the end of the list. There's many things that's way higher priority. But it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is.
And this is what I want to ask, and what I asked in our little group chat that we have going. Why is it so difficult now to add it in there when it was in there in all those previous games?
Because they would have had to develop it from the beginning. I think Legal said that to you in response when you asked that question, that they would have had to. Oh my God, I'm getting, that's spam. Thank God. It's a spam call. I could already tell. But yeah, that's something they would have had to plan for from the beginning, because even on the Series X, let's say if it was 2 players split screen, you know, that's going to cut down the resolution and potentially the frame rate. You're definitely not going to get 120 hertz, right? It's going to be bumped down to 60.
So and of course, it's going to be something like the medium kind of thing.
Yeah, I would imagine. But that's theoretically if they had it and planned for it to be there all along. I would have thought they did some testing, because it's only now that they canceled it. So they always did plan for it, and they were developing that all along. It's not something you can just add in all after the fact, because you have to balance, you know, the resolution, the performance of the system, and 2 instances of the game. Maybe not 2 complete instances, because, you know, all the physics is probably 1 instance, not 2. But it depends on how they do it, you know. So they would have to plan from the beginning. And clearly they did, because it's only just now that they've announced that they're canceling that feature. They might bring it back in the future, but
it broke a lot of people's hearts.
Yeah, it broke a lot of people's hearts. But that's the other thing about all the announcements. Like, at first when the announcements were coming out, people didn't even really know everything. Because it was slowly coming out the details. People were realizing what was going on. So at first, people were confused, and then really, really, really upset, right? And then there was some video that, in fact, I didn't see. Once again, you know, shout out to, you know, those in the game. I think it was J-Rock who posted it. There's this, I don't even know if he's a new guy, but he's the guy who's in charge of handling this now. Like, this is the guy who's working on this stuff, and he, you know, he explained the 4 pillars they have, you know, how they plan to attack everything, blah, blah, blah. And ever since I heard this dude speak, it just reminds me of what they did with the Master Chief Collection. You know, they had a whole situation there, and they eventually went back to it and broke down their plan of attack and what they plan to do and when they plan to do it. And it seemed like a lot of people were happier with that. Not that they're content, because they're not, right? but they're happier that they see constructive work being done to address the specific things that the community has said, which is one of the things that I wish I remember this guy's name, but yeah, he addressed those things. So at least there's a plan there of attack and whatnot. But the main issue I have is, well, it's not even an issue. It's just my perception of how the community is reacting and their feelings on it. It's like they were really upset. Now they're less upset. Right now that they have more information. But now I think there's like half of them are really upset. Like, you can't tell me not to be mad at blah, blah, blah. And then there's the other.
Oh, I like telling people they can't be mad.
Right. But then there's
gets under their skin.
Right. But then there were other people who were like, and I feel like I might be a little bit of that latter group to a certain extent. Like, because my point was, okay, well, you want for them to drop Bonnie Ross. What the hell is that going to do? Right?
Yeah.
Like,
it's not going to magically make everything better, you know?
And especially with the 343. Oh, they need to bring back Bungie. Do y'all not know?
They brought back a lot of people, didn't they?
Well, number one, they did the old heads who don't work for either company or didn't work for either company up until now, right? But I'm talking about for 343, like to dump 343 wholesale. That was already the dumbest thing possible because number one, that's not going to fix your situation no matter what the details that I'm about to mention, right? But even on top of that, right? But even on top of that, 343 is the people who were at Bungie who still want to work on Halo and not stretch off into other projects like they did with Destiny and other things that they have in the future. Yeah. Those are the Halo people at Bungie who decide to stay, plus some new people to fill in the gaps. You know, like a lot of people from Red Storm, RIP Red Storm. Oh my God, RIP Red Storm. But a lot of other developers and people like that who come fill in the spots, right? So for people who are saying, get rid of 343, my response is, and replace them with who? Yeah. With who? Yeah. Who the hell are you going to get to put in and expect them to do the job that they didn't do? If they didn't do it, no one can, right? So
and you gotta have the new person kind of catch up on what's going on.
Yeah.
No, here I was trying to get the picture of this roadmap thing.
And the next thing, really the last thing I want to see, not see, but say is, especially now that you bring up this picture, right? Because a lot of people are posting this picture and saying they're upset. Now, I don't know what they're upset about because I haven't done my homework. So I'm not here to criticize what anybody's mad about, and everybody has the right to feel what they feel. But I suggest to everyone, get your facts straight, then you can feel how you feel. Because I'm seeing a lot of these folks, it's pretty clear to me they didn't do their homework, okay?
They just see the headlines and cry.
Right. And I gotta say, it's not anybody that I know in the community like J-Rock and K-Mega. Trust and believe, these folks is even more educated on the situation than I am because I'm at work and they're more hardcore than I am nowadays. So I know they know what the plan is and they already know how they feel about the situation. But even J-Rock does not seem to me as mad as he was a couple hours ago, right?
Yeah.
But not that he's not upset about certain things, and he has every right to, from the limited knowledge that I have about what their plans are.
Yeah.
Right? He has a lot of right to be mad about a lot of things. And like I said, we're going to discuss that later on tonight. But I see there's a lot of content that's coming between now and March.
Yeah. So it looks like, that's what it looks like. Just by looking at the picture, not having to read everything that's in there. That's what it looks like to me too.
It looks like a lot, cool. But it might not actually be, because
they might change it up.
Right, they might change it up as they've been doing the whole time,
Yeah.
They're talking about ray tracing is still on the roadmap. It's a priority. Okay. Most people, and the ironic thing about it is the same people who are complaining that the ray tracing isn't there are the same people who always say we don't need ray tracing, blah, blah, blah all the time anyway, when that's their talking point.
Yeah.
Now it's the Halo, and Halo had promised to have it, still doesn't have it.
Hell, they promised me. I'm like, oh, those promises can be broken.
Yeah, promises can be broken. It's the real world, but it's just like, at least keep it consistent. If you're gonna be upset that the ray tracing is there, then you can't be complaining about ray tracing of the games because you don't use it. It's worthless, you know, blah blah blah. You can't say both things in the same.
Well, it's like the game comes out, there's no content, and you know 343 doesn't say anything. People are pissed. Okay, so now they come out with something like, okay, this is what we're planning to do, and they take away some things such as, you know, couch co-op. They're still pissed, and they look at the roadmap, and they accept that couch co-op won't be there, but something about ray tracing, they're still pissed. No matter what, people are gonna be pissed.
Yeah,
people are mad no matter what 343 does, no matter how much information 343 and Microsoft gives out to the community. People are still going to be pissed about something. They're not going to like a picture in this roadmap. Like, oh, I don't like that picture. It's not inclusive enough.
And that's the Halo community in a nutshell. It's always been a civil war since like Halo 4.
Yeah. Yeah.
Once Bungie left, right, it's been a civil war. Because even Halo Reach, they complained about the multiplayer. Yeah. Right? Because it was like...
I guess that's fair enough. Because I know I always say Halo 3 was the best.
Right.
When it comes to multiplayer.
Right. But Halo Reach was their last one. But the irony is, when they were talking about unlocks and stuff, but this Halo Infinite, you know, everybody pointed to Halo Reach as the gold standard in what to do. And these are the same people who complained about how they did things in Halo Reach. And I don't get it. You point to Halo Reach as the example as what they should do. But back when they did that, and it was Bungie who did that, they didn't like it. This is like, what? At least be consistent in y'all complaints is what I'm saying. But hey, man, but that's the Halo community, man. There's always been a civil war between the people who, you know, understand what, you know, 343 is doing and is being more realistic about it, and the people who are upset. And not that, you know, the people who are upset don't have a reason to be upset. They really, really, really do, particularly this time, right? But be realistic about your expectations on how to move forward. Is my point.
Yeah, it's never going to be enough. I mean, they can go knock all this stuff out here and they'll still have something like, well, he doesn't have this. I'm like, all right.
Okay.
What else are you mad about?
Well, it's a live service game. It's going to be there for a while. They're going to be doing stuff for a long time. This is not over. This is not over. This is just like the Master Chief
Collection. But the numbers are still up. People are still playing.
Yep, people are still playing. And I really think this is just like what they did with the Master Chief Collection. This is the beginning of the road to redemption. You see this dude with the glasses. I really forget his name. I really want to remember his name. I found the video here on my tablet because I'm on the phone with you, but have a mini tablet in my pocket. I'm scrolling through trying to find the video.
Yeah, like 6.
Okay, I'm going to play the... No, I only got 2. Actually, 3.
Oh, I found it. Well, it's like a 7-second short, though.
No, that's not the one. Scroll up. Okay, it's right there.
Oh, the 2-minute one?
Yeah, the 2-minute. Okay. Sean Barron. Okay, he's the head of the live services. Okay. For Halo. I don't know if he's new, if he just got that position, but Sean is the guy.
He's the guy
that I mentioned, right? And when he sat there, you saw on his face, he's just like, he got a lot of work to do. He knows it. You could tell on his face when he's speaking, and you can see this the plan of attack. And it seems like he cares to me. And that's the vibe I get.
And that's the same one that's where he said like it's time to give results and just a bunch of broken promises.
Yeah, I think that was him. Yeah.
That was him, yeah.
So he understands what it is. He gets it. He's talking that talk, but he has to walk that walk now. Because I really feel this will be the last chance, if at all, that the Halo community will give him. Either the people on either side of the civil war that I mentioned earlier, right?
Yeah.
I feel it's the last shot, but I also think they're gonna do it this time. It just seems to me like I accept. This is just me because the other guys might disagree, but I think it's gonna be like what they did with the Master Chief Collection. It will slowly improve, right? And they'll slowly add this and add that and add this and add that. And then at the end of it, then they're going to start to add all the dream stuff that was never even a part of the plan in the first place.
Yeah.
Like maybe the co-op or the couch co-op will come back all the way at the end when they have nothing else to develop and add on to it because everything's already been there and finally fixed. That's literally what happened with the Master Chief Collection when it comes to Halo ODST, right? They added it in because, okay, fine, we could finally do it now. And they made sure that they did it such that the like the system link still worked and everything. Even the old system.
Yeah, the system link. I remember
the
that.
system link works with the old original versions of all those games, I believe, because they said they did that work, but it took longer.
I wonder how many people still do that system link.
Oh, X-Link. Look up X-Link Kai. It's still there. And in fact, there's a whole mod situation, although it's not really a mod thing because you don't need to mod your system, but basically Xbox Live on the original Xbox is coming back. Somebody's working on a server, and then if you have real Xbox Live games, or even if you have a modded system, it don't matter. You'll be able to play your games online. So Capcom versus SNK 2. I can't wait to do that, you know? And a bunch of other games.
Well, that's been around for years though, with the original Xbox and that original Xbox.
Right, with system
ever since it went down, somebody
right.
else kind of taken up that gap and made it like a so-called network.
Right, but that's with System Link.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What I'm talking about is like an emulation of actual Xbox Live.
Oh.
And that's coming back. So all of those games that had Xbox Live support could potentially work again. Not Halo 2 and stuff, because that had more, on the server side too, but maybe one day. But a lot of the fighting games and other things that were more basic in terms of the Xbox Live.
Dude, you know what was mine? Mine was a big, besides Halo. Halo was huge for me.
Right.
But back then it was Mech Assault.
Mech Assault,
my
Ghost Recon,
God,
Rainbow
I had
Six.
so many hours in Mech Assault.
Countless fighting games, man. Or all online on Xbox when they weren't online on PlayStation or anything else. It was just, that was the big boy system.
Stayed up late nights on Mech Assault, man. And I hated those Mad Cats users, man. Those were the worst ones.
Oh,
they knew how to use that Mad Cat. And I was always like a puma. I think it was a puma or a cougar or whatever it's called. I forgot which one it was.
I think it was cougar. I want to say it was called cougar.
It had like rockets, homing rockets.
No, the Timberwolves, I think. Something like that.
And then you got
I think that was the name.
Was it the giant one? It was like a huge giant with a little man in it. Did that?
I don't remember that one.
You don't remember that one?
No.
It was some huge, like gigantic robot. And of course, it's all slow, but it took a lot of damage. But then when it was dead, their pilot comes out. So now
and he had the little mech suit. Yeah, and he had the little mech suit. Yeah. That was in part 2.
Oh God, Mech Assault was so good. So
that's
what I want back. You want to be angry about something? Bring back Mech Assault, man. That's what I want.
But back on topic. It just seems like, because I'm seeing all this stuff. What has happened to Halo? Look at Brad Sams. I'm seeing a tweet from him from 3 hours ago. What has happened to Halo with Sad Face? Like, what do you mean what has happened to Halo? What have you been playing since last year?
Yep.
Halo, I assume, because numbers are going up, not down. All these people complaining, but numbers are up, not down.
Numbers are up, yeah.
I can't follow that.
Oh, man, just wait till tonight. Everybody gets off work and watch.
Yeah. And they'll say all this stuff that I didn't say or imply, but I'm going to give them the latitude to express how they feel, because J-Rock was saying a lot of stuff, in the DM he's been saying on Twitter. So this is definitely going to be, he's definitely going to be the point man. He's definitely got the most knowledge on this, and he can let us know the details that I didn't have time to research, even myself. I'm still here at work. So I can't wait for that show tonight.
Or at home working?
I'm at work on location. Okay. Yourself, you happen to. That's because you live across the street from the school that you work at, you bastard.
That school means nothing to me because my kids don't go there. We put them in a charter school. That's a public school. Oh, yeah.
Right, but you work there. It doesn't matter if your kids are there.
I don't work at the school.
There. You work at the school that's across from you, don't you?
I work at home now, 100% home.
But your place of employment
is not a school.
It's not a school anymore. I thought it was a school that was across from you, and that's what you do.
No.
From home.
I'm IT, and I work for a home services company.
Okay, where did I get this from then? You used to do this stuff. No? Oh, okay. I don't know where I got that from. I thought that's what we discussed. I've repeated this multiple times in front of you. You didn't correct me.
I live across the school.
School, I remember. Yeah.
There's a school like where my kids used to go to, and I just walk them down the hill, and it's right there. I mean, I can see it from my window too, and I can hear all those kids screaming in the playground. But But yeah, I have no affiliation with that school. Except
Okay,
that we're in the
here's a
same
perfect
neighborhood.
example of what I was talking about before. Okay, Brad Sams 3 hours ago, he says, "What has happened to Halo William with a sad face," right? And
Oh,
then Zach Bowen from Windows Central, he's like, "They should give Halo to someone else." Like who, mother? Who?
it's always
You're
the
gonna
answer.
give it to Ubisoft?
Well,
You're gonna give it to Sony? You're
how
gonna
it
give it
is.
to EA?
You
What
know how it is
developer-
online. Everybody has the answers. Everybody knows what to do with something because they're the experts now, right? It's like, oh no, Halo sucks because 343 can't handle it. They give it to somebody else. I'm like, okay, well, what's your suggestion? Just give it to somebody else. I'm like, but who? Just give it to anybody. It's like that's their
Zach
answer.
Bowen, stick to Windows, okay? That's what you do.
Yeah.
Okay? Brad can say something, right? He talks about this and he talks about Windows. He talks about everything Microsoft. He could do that. Zach, you handle Windows. Shut your mouth. Give it to somebody else.
Give
Who?
it to somebody else.
Like who else is gonna? Bro, listen. Because if 343 can't do it, then that's the end of Halo. Because there ain't nobody else available.
No.
Period.
Well, I'm sure somebody's gonna be all like,
Oh, we
snooty
could do
and be
it to
like,
get the money, but yeah.
well, doesn't Xbox have 23 studios to work with? That's what they'll say.
Now, of course, you got Oh No, It's Alex is a textbook example of how to destroy the legacy of a franchise. Yeah, he would say this bullshit. But listen. There are countless examples that were way worse. Killzone is dead. Resistance is dead. Countless other series is dead. Okay, those are the examples. Sean just gave you a roadmap, right, of what they plan to do. No other series does this when they get in trouble. Because when a series gets in trouble, what happens to it? They take it out back and they put two to the head. Okay, it doesn't matter if it's EA or Ubisoft or Capcom or whoever.
Ouya.
They all do it. Ouya, they all do it. That's what they do. Okay, so listen, Microsoft is taking a lot of flack. 343 is taking a lot of flack, and deservedly so.
Well, okay,
but give it to somebody else. And textbook example, get the F out of here with that crap. That's a bit too much.
Let me play this. Let me say this. With all the bad news Sony has been getting lately in the last month, I guess 1 week or 1 day of Halo bad news or Xbox bad news just kind of balances things out.
Yeah.
But people will run with this big time and they'll spin it in so many different ways.
Right, because they have their biases. And you could tell with the biases because of what they say. You could tell.
Now, as everybody knows, and I know you're a PC guy, so I'll just throw it out there.
Oh, I'm the PC guy. Okay.
Everybody knows I'm an Xbox guy. I breathe, bleed, and everything that's Xbox. But I get why people are upset. Even though I say, co-op is dead and gamers need to get over it. Yeah. I get it. I understand why they're upset. I'm not gonna dismiss it or belittle their upsetness. I get it. So, but at the same time, let's look at the bigger picture. Co-op is dead. At least couch co-op is dead. But at this, and I see how people fight for it because my son and I play Cuphead together, and that's couch co-op. There's no other way to play it, but it's one screen. And then I see Tiny Tina, the latest Borderlands game. It has couch co-op, and it's just a flip of a button on the home screen. But they did it from day one. They didn't have to do it like towards the end of the a year later or something like that.
Right.
So I get it, and at the same time, it's like, dude, people just need to move on. It's like couch co-op is dead. You can play online. You can play on your phone. You can play on your tablet. You can play on your fridge's display.
Yeah.
TVs now. You can play on everything. You're gonna really tell me you're gonna make an uproar?
We even have smart monitors now. Forget smart TVs. We have smart monitors. Look at that new line of Samsung.
Yes.
Monitors, right? Doing exactly what the Sony one should have done, by the way, with all the apps and smart TV, but now smart monitor stuff right in the monitors. You don't even need a system or a PC to be able to get on the xCloud or GeForce Now, whatever. So there's that. Yeah. But I would like to see it, and hopefully one day it comes back at the end of all the other things that are more important than that. Because let's be honest, couch Co-op is way low on the totem
It's
pole of things
way
they
down at
need
the
to
totem
do.
pole at the very
They need
bottom.
maps. They need content. They need more seasons, more of everything. Co-op is way behind on the list, bro. Let's keep it a buck. It sucks ass that it's not there. We get that. You're not wrong. I'm not saying you guys are wrong about that, but fall back on this other talk, bro.
But yeah, I mean, I would like to see the numbers of the previous Halos that did have it from day one, and how much was couch co-op really used.
Yeah.
You know, to justify, oh, we must have it in the latest one because look at back on Halo 3, everybody was using it, and we know that's not true.
Right.
You know. So, all right, man, we got our 30 minutes. You said what you had to say. I had what I had to say. We want it to be there. It's just not today.
This is not today.
Just not
but
today.
Later on tonight,
direct gaming.
Oh yeah, you know, myself, J-Rock, New Legal. I don't know who else.
I may or may not come just because I'm packing up to go out of town tomorrow.
Yeah, I have to go out tomorrow too. So yeah, so that's gonna have to. I have, you know, to wrap up, say what I gotta say. The show's gotta end, and I gotta bag up for tomorrow as well. So yeah, catch us tonight. You know, just follow us on Twitter, and we'll keep you up to date at what time we're beginning.
Yeah, yeah, tonight then. Tonight on New Legal's Direct Gaming. You guys need to check it out. Look for him on Twitter because I'm sure he'll announce it.
Yes.
And any last words? That's it.
Take a deep breath. Everything will be all right. I promise.
You'll be fine.
I promise. I have faith that they can fix it. A lot of people are, you know, upset, and righteously so. I'm not saying y'all are not wrong to be upset, or that even I disagree with y'all because I don't. I really don't. I think y'all are right. Just be a bit more objective, though. More logic, less emotion. I promise you, it helps. We'll leave it at that.
All right. Well, we'll sign off, and everybody have a great Thursday afternoon. Bye-bye.
Peace.